I am Shani Larwood-Smith and I am the lead nurse for Gypsies and Travellers working within public health in Cambridgeshire. The reality of many Gypsies and Travellers' lived experience is that they face discrimination and prejudice daily, hourly even. And I get really agitated and cross about it on their behalf. And they're like, it's just how it is. No, don't worry about it, Shani, we're used to it. It shouldn't be used to it. And that's from everywhere. It's from shopkeepers, it's from pubs, it's from literally everywhere. But what worries me most is the kind of experiences that they have when they enter large institutions like the NHS. And there are barriers in the way that are based on discrimination. And that's really difficult for me as a nurse to accept. I find that really hard.
I'm Terry Lee Hawkins. I'm a community development worker for the Gypsy Traveller health team. I think it's important for midwives to remember that Gypsy mothers come across a great deal of prejudice throughout their pregnancy. They're dealing with a lot of different issues, not just their pregnancy, their housing, financial. And I think midwives need to be aware of that, need to be more open-minded and perhaps be aware of where they can signpost these ladies to if, there's a housing or financial need that they can't deal with.
The term gypsy is a proper recognised term to describe the ethnicity of being a gypsy. And the term traveller is a proper recognised word for the ethnicity of being an Irish traveller. So it is okay to use both. Sometimes they're interchangeable, but the best thing to do is to actually just ask. Ask the person you're working with, is it okay if I use the word gypsy, or is it okay if I use the word traveller? One of the really key things to remember for this community is that they are not one homogenous group. And so within that group, there will be members of the Irish traveller community, the English Romany gypsy community, showmen, and also there's a huge stratum of need within that. So I work with the most vulnerable end, and they have the most barriers, and those are the people I think that possibly you want to focus your efforts on.
I've worked with the Gypsy Traveller community for over 10 years now. Some of the barriers were mistrust of professionals. I got through that by shadowing other professionals, and now when I'm introducing another professional to the family, I always like to go with them because I've built up that trust. I worked with a young lady who became pregnant when she was 17. She has spoken about being judged. People look at her, they hear her Irish accent, and she doesn't like to talk when she's in the doctor's surgery waiting room. So she was always very nervous going to appointments, always calling for moral support.
So some top tips when working with Gypsy Traveller women. I think the first thing is don't make any assumptions. Talk to the lady, ask her. In my experience, Gypsies and Travellers love to talk, and they communicate through story. So listen to her story. Amongst the community, it seems to be more desirable to have a hospital birth. Home births are. I don't even think I can think of one. They would want to have their baby in hospital and may arrive at the hospital unexpectedly because they have travelled back from somewhere to come to a hospital that they trust. Usually women will be accompanied by a chaperone, particularly younger women, and that's everywhere in daily life. It would be very unusual for a gypsy woman to go and do anything completely alone. That's changing slowly, but certainly for medical appointments, you would expect them to be accompanied by a chaperone. It's really important to follow her lead to what language she is comfortable with. Modesty and privacy is a huge thing within the community, and breastfeeding is really quite rare in my experience. And some women will not have been exposed to things like sex ed lessons in school or conversations about bodily functions within the family. Even intergenerationally, their mums sometimes don't tell their daughters what bodily functions to expect. So if you follow the woman's lead in how she refers to her private parts or whatever it is that she uses, I mean, sometimes women will just kind of point, and that's fine. You can get your message across. It just needs to be in a style and language that suits that lady. So one of the things that I often get asked about is why do large family members come, large numbers of family members? Maybe not so much for midwifery because that's a normal thing, but if it was thought that there was going to be a problem, then large numbers of family might arrive. And that's because family within the community is so important. And again, I know it's important for everybody, but this is big family. This is cousins of cousins and aunts and uncles, and large numbers of children within a family might be quite common. So you've got lots of siblings of the mum who want to care and demonstrate that. And almost it's a matter of honour that they should come and a matter of shame if they don't. So the desire to live up to the expectation of the community outweighs everything else.
We work very closely with these families, looking at their benefits, their housing and their health. So we do build up that trust with them. They'll have a question and, they'll call us and we can then signpost them onto other services.
It's really important to think about how you're going to get hold of the lady going forward throughout the pregnancy. And you need to think whether or not post is the right way to do that, whether literacy is good enough. The postal service to her site may not be very reliable. So one way you can help with that is to use her mobile phone. Most ladies have a mobile phone. It can help if you put your number directly into there and perhaps even use a photo of the hospital so that when that number flashes up, it flashes up with a photo of the hospital. The lady knows it's the hospital ringing her. She will answer. Otherwise, she may not answer to you.